Hey girls, welcome to our Vocab Unit 13 video. Please be sure to take notes in the vocab section of your writing notebook. Remember, you don't need to write down all the words and their definitions, just the ones that are going to be helpful to you. You might want to even write down the little clues that I give you to help you remember the words. All right, let's get started. Our first word this week is ad infinitum, and that's kind of a funny word. You can tell that it's different than regular English words. That's because it comes from Latin. So it's two words, but it's really one word when we use it, and it means endlessly. It's an adverb, so it describes an action. So the robot on the left just keeps saying hello, 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 and the guy on the right just can't handle it because the robot keeps going on, ad infinitum. I can remember this word easily because it looks like it has the word infinity in it, so it reminds me of that idea of endlessly. Our next word is apportion. And apportion is a verb, and it means to divide and give out in shares. So we've got a birthday cake down here, or maybe it's actually a welcome home cake, and you can tell that somebody is apportioning the shares of the birthday cake. So apportioning generally has a positive connotation, though you could also apportion something like guilt or blame after a negative event. Our next word is bonafide, and it is also from Latin. It's an adjective, and it means genuine or sincere. It's the real deal. A lot of the times, bonafide is used to show that somebody is the opposite of somebody who's faking it. So this person has been approved by the National CPR Certification Organization, and that's different. That's bonafide, right? That's different than if I just told you that I was CPR certified, even if I wasn't. Our next word is buoyant. It's an adjective, and it means able to float easily, able to hold things up, cheerful or hopeful. So this boat is buoyant. It's floating on the water. Sometimes you have friends who are buoyant. They're cheerful, they're hopeful, they're always looking up. Our next word is clique, and we all know this word from middle school. It's a noun, and it means a small, exclusive group of people. So here we've got an example from Mean Girls of a very clear clique. Concede is our next word. It's a verb, and it means to admit as true, to yield, or to submit. So I might concede that I forgot to do my homework, or I might concede the soccer game if the score was too high for the other team. Our next word is congenial. It's an adjective, and it means getting on well with others, agreeable or pleasant. So somebody who's congenial is a really nice person, somebody who you would like to be around. The ketchup says, "It was nice to meet you," and the hot dog says, "Yeah, hope to see you soon so we can catch up." So they're both having a congenial conversation. Lofty is an adjective that means very high or noble. So this house is clearly lofty. It's very high up on a hill. But ideas can also be lofty. So maybe you have lofty ambitions. You have a really high dream for yourself. Or maybe you have, you're very intellectual, so you have lofty ideas, lofty aspirations. Our next word is migration, and it's a noun, and it can mean a movement from one country or region to another. So every year, many species participate in migration, right? They move from one location to another for summer versus for winter. Our next word is perceive. It's a verb, and it means to be aware of through the senses, to observe, to grasp mentally. So perceiving something means that you can see, smell, taste, touch, or feel it, or it could also mean that you become aware of it in your own mind. Perverse is an adjective, and it means inclined to go against what is expected, stubborn, turned away from what is good or proper. So we probably know the word pervert, which is a noun, and that's somebody who has been turned away from what is good and proper. They have ideas that we don't really like. They are doing things that are unexpected, and it could also mean perverse. So playing music too loudly could be perverse, but so could other behaviors like being interested in dead people or something along those lines. That would also be perverse. Prelude is a noun. It's an introduction, or that which comes before or leads off. So here's the prelude to Star Wars a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Musical pieces often have a prelude, so they have a small introduction before the main piece. Our next word is rancid. It's an adjective and it means stale or spoiled. So this bread is clearly rancid. It has clearly gone off. Rustic is an adjective. It means country-like, simple, plain. It could also mean awkward, and then it can also mean one who lives in the country. So it can have a positive connotation, being country-like. Like some people really like rustic furniture that's plain and looks like it's old-fashioned. But it can also have a negative connotation of being, awkward, kind of backwards because of having been so isolated in the country. Our next word is sever, which is a verb, and it means to separate or divide into parts. So sever is a much more severe word than the word we had before, apportion, because once something is severed, it can't be put back together again. You can see that these little paper people are being cut in half. That's what it means to sever something, is to divide it into parts. That's different than apportion, which means to share. So you can see that apportion has more of a positive connotation. Our next word is sordid, and it is an adjective meaning wretchedly poor, run down, or it could also mean mean and selfish. So this has a very negative connotation. It often has to do with poverty or the lack of maintenance, but it can also refer to somebody who is mean and has selfish motivations. Our next word is untenable. Untenable is an adjective that means not capable of being held or defended, impossible to maintain. So you'll hear a lot about people having untenable beliefs or untenable ideas. So one idea that is currently untenable is that global warming isn't real. All of the scientists in the world agree that global warming is real. So to say that global warming isn't real is an untenable position. There's not any evidence to help you prove that it's true. It's impossible to maintain. Our next word is versatile, which is an adjective, and it means able to do many things well, capable of many uses. So a Swiss Army knife is a really clear example of being versatile. It can do a lot of things, and it can help you to do them. Vindicate is our next word. It's a verb, and it means to clear from hint or charge of wrongdoing, to defend successfully against opposition, or to justify. So if you've been accused of a crime and you win in front of the jury, you win the court case, you've been vindicated. You are no longer accused of that crime. You can also support your opinion by vindicating it, right, by justifying it. Our last word this week is wane, and it means to lose size, strength, or power. So here's an example of the prince waning into a frog. Most oftentimes, though, you'll hear that word wane used to describe the moon. So the moon waxes, it grows big during some parts of the month, and then it wanes, it grows small during other parts of the month. All right, you guys, that was Vocab Unit 13. I look forward to seeing those notes or those vocabulary stories next time. Thanks, girls.